Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Haunters Playground, the place where people who love everything spooky and scary come to play. I'm your host, Christopher Abram. Well, today we're actually going to create history. We're going to finish up the interview, the longest interview in the world, with Psycho, Timothy Psycho Bates. And also want to give a quick holler to everyone who is recently subscribed. The numbers are shooting up, and thank you for all the comments. I really appreciate them. Everybody seems to be enjoying the show, being informative, and that's one of the routes that we were wanting to go, as well as also highlighting pro and home haunters. And so thank you everybody for your comments. And on that note, with home haunters and pro haunters, want to once again ask, if you're in the North Texas area, please send us some information. We would like to come and shoot at your home haunt or your pro haunt, and hey, give you some free advertising, if anything. We've tried with a few home haunters, and I know this is a busy time of year. Trust me, I know. But the schedules are just not working out like we thought it might. So we're kind of hanging out there with really nobody to go and visit your haunts. Even though I have had some people who I sometimes forget it's the World Wide Web, and we've had people from all over the globe talking about their haunts and wish that we could come shoot theirs. But here's the thing: if you're on, well, let's just say anywhere outside of Texas, and you would like to show us your haunt, send me a link. I can either copy video off of YouTube and we can show it here on the show, or you can send me a link to a private video and can grab that. But we would love to showcase people's haunts during the month of October, whether it's pro or home, and you know, just get the people out in the haunting community to know about everybody's haunts and the different things that are going on, and it, you know, maybe get new subscribers for you. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and conclude our interview with Timothy Psycho Bates, and then after this episode you'll be able to see some links to go to the full unedited video, the complete interview with him. But right now, here's Psycho.
Well, with technology, I mean, the prices have come down so much on, you know, video technology and projectors, and that it's more available to the everyday haunter, home haunter, or, you know, small haunted houses, that they can afford to do this now. So it is becoming more and more common to see all this.
When you tell people that, you know, you've done haunted houses, and like just this last week, I got a phone call about coming aboard a haunted house here, world's largest haunted house, coming in and doing stuff for them. When people find out that kind of stuff about you, do they then expect your house to look like a pro haunt?
Oh God, yeah.
And then it looks like the worst, the saddest house on the block, because you may have a rotted pumpkin out front.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Because you don't have time to do it, because you're working on other haunts or other, you know, projects, so you don't have time to go and decorate your house and make it super scary, you know. But maybe someday I'll take a year off and actually go full bore and show them that, yeah, I know how to scare people.
He does. I've seen him do it.
I promise, I do.
I think your best scare ever, wearing the black cloak, standing totally still for 30 minutes out in the middle of a mall, wasn't even in season, but we were advertising our year-round haunted house. He's just standing there, not moving. People think he's a statue. They come up and, you know, they're touching him, they're doing all sorts of stuff. And it's not like he went "Ah," and tried to scare him. He would just barely move, and the screams and the shrills.
Yeah, I had people actually timing me. The people in that bakery shop, they timed me 32 minutes standing perfectly still one time, and had people coming up to pose with me and take pictures with me. And right when they said cheese, I turned and looked at the one next to me. That sent them all just running, screaming, and the whole group of people that were standing there were 100% sure I was a statue. And yeah, it was rather funny.
And also, when we were in Florida, you were the zombie who would lay out in the graveyard that people would spit on, throw coins at, kick, call names.
I was getting pegged in the back of the head with quarters, telling them to get up, you ugly mother, get up. And I never moved, and they thought I was fake. And then I would jump up, scare them, and then him and his guys come dressed up as SWAT guys, and they'd gun me down, and I'd fall down and just lay there for another 10, 15 minutes waiting for the line to come around that didn't know I was real, and jump up and do it again.
Now, that was late in the 90s before we had Columbine shootings and stuff like that. So we actually went around with stage guns, blank firing pistols that they're real guns that have been modified to shoot blanks, but the blast doesn't come out of the barrel, it vents out of the top. So you could literally put the gun to someone's chest and pull the trigger. You just wanted to make sure it didn't vent straight up into their face, but you could be that close. And so when he would pop up in the middle of a graveyard, we would take aim with handguns, and it seems like we had, I don't know, 10 people there with 10, handguns.
10, yeah. So I had 10 people shooting at me. It was.
Now he had the option to be one of us, but how fun is that? I mean, the only time we scared people is when they thought we had little airsoft guns, and they would be standing there, and we'd start pulling the trigger, and then everybody'd hit the deck.
Now, the worst part about working with this guy and doing that whole scare of in the graveyard is whenever I had to go to the bathroom, I would have to jump up and scare everybody around and then take off running for behind one of the haunted houses so that I could get away from, the audience. Patrons couldn't see me, but these guys would catch on that I was doing that, and so they would jump in front of me and gun me down, and I would be laying there. They would grab me and drag me back into the middle of the graveyard. So I'd have to do it again. Jump up, scared, take off running. It got rather entertaining because I was...
Well, it didn't help that you were wearing a headset and would go, psycho to death, I need to go to the bathroom. And then I would go, okay, scare unit, switch over to channel 2, because I knew Tim wouldn't be able to switch to channel 2. And I'd go, okay, we're all going to go out into the graveyard, and when Tim pops up, we're going to shoot him down.
Yeah.
That's what made it so fun.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I guess we're coming to the end of this interview. Both our wives are waiting for hamburgers to be burned out on the grill.
Okay.
So any last recommendations, advice, words of wisdom?
Yes, always. Whenever designing or building anything, always be safety conscious of anything. You don't want anybody getting hurt or injured for any reason. And secondly, have fun. And finally, just don't ever trust him whenever you've got to go to the bathroom.
Well, that's it for Tim. And we're going to head back to the Psycho. Normally, I call him Psycho all the time, but now it's all of a sudden he's not calling me Death, so I'm not calling him Psycho. So now we're going to head back to the studios.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Normally that would be so funny, but now it's like so scary because our wives are watching. So you might have kind of already seen the ending of that. I chopped up the first part of the interview with episode, I think it was episode 2. Yes, episode 2, and kind of threw the ending on there so we'd have a place to go, because I hadn't thought that far ahead. So now we are going to be looking forward to the month of October, or as some of us say in the haunt business, Halloween is not just one day, it's the entire month of October. So Halloween is October. We are going to be talking to a friend of mine and someone who I've worked with quite often. His name is David Friedman, and he is a professional audio engineer. He's done audio for independent films as well as doing sound effects. And I mean, this guy does it all. He does the sound at Texas Stadium for the Cowboys, for the SMU Mustangs. I mean, this guy knows his audio. And so we're going to talk to him, and we're going to get some pointers, because this is one of the things that's kind of popped up recently with some questions, as well as some friends of mine in the haunt industry have contacted me about sound effect work. And he will be able to give us some pointers on how to get some of your own. And then I will give all the knowledge I have of where to go and download free sound effects and free audio programs to where you can make some of your own. And hopefully this will give you enough time so you can kind of fine tune some sound effects and get your home haunt or pro haunt up that extra notch. As one of my friends in the business has said, it's called an audience for a reason. Audience, root word being audio. So if your audio is not kicking and just really pumping and right there themed out with what visually people are seeing, there's going to be some division there where your patrons, your viewers, your customers may not be totally sucked in, and we always want to totally suck them in, fully immerse them in the haunt. So Mr. David Friedman will be our next guest. So for now, that's it for the playground, and we will see you next time.